Hey guys, a game against rating 930. It was amazing game for me because at the end of the game site gives me some interesting information. The accuracy data for me was actually 90 out of 100 and for my opponent was 77, which was great news for me. And the end of the game it makes an estimation according to that single game, which was 1500 for me and it was 1200 for my opponent. It showed me that I can go to 1500 level in the short term. It is possible by some actually practices. So this is the end game, and actually I checkmated him. So let's review that game. At the end of the game, at the beginning of the game, I started with the opening of London, actually London system. This is the typical London opening. Actually the knight goes to d2. The pawn trying to support this pawn, and actually this trying to pawn and this bishop support both. I made a pawn to actually c3 to support this pawn and also make a triangle here. So in the next move the bishop comes to threaten my bishop. This is no big deal because I can take with this pawn, and this is not a big deal to having two pawns in a column. This I will tell you in the next moves. So he took my bishop, I took his bishop, and this was a simple bishop trade. This knight is actually not good for me. I'm trying to capture that knight with my actually bishop because I need this e5 square to be freed up. So the queen comes to the play. He took my bishop. That was a trade, equal trade. Now this square is free for me and supported by two powerful pawns. So my knight goes to this one, and his pawn cannot threaten my knight. Threatening my knight with the queen, not a big deal. I made a castle. Now this e file is prepared for this rook. This rook comes to the party to make good moves. So the knight goes to h5. What a blunder from my opponent. I could take easily with my queen. That was easy knight. So I took, and a threat to my queen, nothing special. And he made a castle and rook at that e1. That e1 rook can cover this actually file, e file here. So the opponent used to threat my knight with the queen's pawn. This is not a good idea to threat the actually pieces with the queen's pawn because these are so important. You are losing some squares close to the queen, to the actually king. So I used a knight to g4. A trade happened, and again trying to threaten my queen, not a big deal. And look at this queen trying to capture the b2 pawn. That is not possible, my friend. Another actually threat to this pawn. A pawn trade happened, equal trade, and he's trying to capture the knight. I won't let him down. I won't let him to take my knight actually. Another queen move. I took with my pawn, and the engine says that it would be better for my opponent to take my pawn here, but he didn't. He used a c3 queen. So I took the free pawn. It was amazing because this pawn is going to make some troubles for my opponent. So rook comes to the play, another forward move with my pawn, and this is dangerous for my opponent because the next move is going to be a queen, and supported with the queen and also my rook. The rook comes here. I think he's trying to come here and support this actually piece with two rook. So knight to h4. A rook comes here to support this one, and look at this move. This was the actually great move according to the engine, and it was a checkmate preparation because if he take, I will take, and the rook is in danger because if he goes here, for example, I will take this one, and that is not good for my opponent. So he wouldn't take that, but if he didn't take, so this actually pawn is supported by this knight. So let's see what happens. Next move, he took my pawn. I took his rook with my knight in this square, and look at the double check happened with also knight and the queen at the same time. The king goes to the last move, and this is the checkmate because the queen is supported by the actually knight, and the knight also supported by this rook. Thanks for watching this video. If you like the content, please subscribe to my channel, like the video, share to a friend. See you in the next video.